All right, here we are again. Finally back on Fridays. Finally, I have some more free time. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, especially considering the crypto space, really. New all-time highs, Bitcoin going up, Ethereum uh, on a run, basically. We're finally seeing life in the altcoins. I mean, I wouldn't say it's altcoin season yet, but we're finally seeing life on altcoins. And yeah, let me grab my screen real quick. Let's just dive right into it. There. So, as I said, the last few days, a little bit of a cool down, a little pullback. I mean, 2% on BTC, a few percent on Ethereum. Like, it's in 24 hours, so it's a bit more, but we're bouncing back, I suppose. Right now, the best part is that even though we've dipped, question. But even though we've dipped on the price, we're still at basically 3.8 trillion, which is still a big increase from last week when we were at 3.3, 3.4 out of the top of my head. And like I said back then, we need more funds. Like we touched the 4 trillion, and yeah, we need to break above that and basically keep that market cap on 4 trillion, possibly higher. And that's what I'm looking for in the coming alt season. That Bitcoin does need a little bit of cool down, but Bitcoin itself does it. Like not all the money from Bitcoin has to flow to the altcoins. Like we need new money, new funds flowing into altcoins and Bitcoin, of course, longer term. But for a full altcoin season, I'd say we need more attention to the altcoins need a little bit more love. I mean, altcoin season index, it's shifting a little bit. So right here it's 42, but here it's 38. But all in all, I mean, we went up considerably. We're now relatively stable. So even though we're in a pullback, I don't think it's bad. Like, yes, everyone who made massive profits so far, I mean, there's definitely been massive profits made. I think it's normal for those people to take some profits. Obviously, a lot of people will be going short during a little cool down like this. So we need to wash out the selling pressure before we start seeing more buying pressure again. But the fact that we're relatively stable, relatively holding, still, I think market sentiment in general is still like we're on basically on the edge, but we were on the edge of extreme greed. Well, as I've always said, and I think most of us know by now, that extreme greed is the area where we want to be taking profits. We were a little shy of that, but we've seen more profit taking now. But right now we're back close to that neutral territory. So I won't say all the selling pressure has been washed out yet, but I think this is a good position to. I personally bought a bunch of Ethereum today, just on a little bit of a cool down, thinking we're gonna see prices go further up. And I drew this on the live stream in the Discord last Wednesday it was. And yeah, so we were on this candle then, and I said then, like, this is the new sideways movements for a little bit now, and that's been happening so far. Yes, it's a bit of a wide margin, but I think this is the main support and resistance for now. But considering we're relatively holding, relatively stable, I think this is the new, where we get ready for the new launch. And you can sort of see, like, you can already see the price compress a little bit. Yes, it touched a little bit more, but this is basically what I'm seeing. And then either we break down or we break up somewhere around this area. But if we do break down, like, I still got plenty of cash on the side. With that cash, I've been talking about that as well. In the meantime, I just do some little dual investing. So I made roughly a 10% return on about $2,000 on this platform. in a matter of like 1 or 2 weeks. But doing that, I still hold cash on the side. If we do break down, that's going to be another buying area. If we do go up, like 4K is my area where I'm looking to take bigger profits, possibly like form the 3800 as a new resistance or new support level. But I think 4K will be, or at least close to it, will be a nice area to take some new profits again. But considering the massive bullish news, the massive bullish sentiment, everyone's looking for altcoin season, I'm expecting prices to, at the very least, continue to go upwards a little bit, as opposed to breaking down and killing the whole altcoin season. I don't see that happening yet. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting on Ethereum, and that's why I also bought Ethereum this morning. The price was a little bit lower then, so I think it was around 3,600 to 3,620 is where my last buy order triggered, and I wouldn't have done that if I didn't think the price would go up. I would talk a little bit about dual investing as well. I already gave away the clue a little bit, but basically for, I don't know, like 10 working days, I haven't done it every day because I also wanted to speculate a little bit on the price of Ethereum itself. I basically used about $2,000, sometimes $2,500 in this dual investment strategy. I have videos about this on my YouTube channel. I've talked about this several times already. What you do is you basically place this Ethereum. You basically place an order to buy Ethereum at that price, and if it doesn't hit that price, you still get a little premium paid out, this percentage over 14 hours, which usually equates to about 0.5% of what the amount of money you put in. Now, if it does hit, you manage to buy it at that price, and you also get that premium. So if I were to do this right now, let's say I buy 1,000 USDT worth, you would get 1,005. Now, sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but if you calculate it, this is basically 0.5%, 0.45 actually, which is still a very good APR considering you only stake it or lock it for 14 hours. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it stacks and it compounds. So the next time you can put in 1,000 and that 4.55, which also grants you more revenue. Now, I do this with spare cash because I always want to keep some cash liquid in order to buy a dip on Ethereum or Bitcoin or Caspa, Virtual, any other coin you want to buy. You can do this with the spare cash you have, because I always try to keep like 30% of the account liquid in order to be able to buy dips. I think that's a very important part to keep in your portfolio. So yeah, I was going to talk about this a little bit, and let's say I've been doing this with roughly $2,000, and over the past it's 3 weeks, but I've been on 2 vacations where I wasn't completely invested during those days because I was busy. So all in all, across about 10 days, I made 10% on my $2,000. So I'd say that's good on any day. And there's no risk of losing your entire balance. And I think with day trading and leverage trading, that risk is much, much, much higher. And if you've watched any of my videos if you know me from the Discord, you know that I advocate an alternative to leverage trading, because I don't think leverage trading is for everyone. We all want the big profits, the 100%, the 80%, but it comes with such a hefty learning curve, with such measures you need to take, that I don't think it's for everyone. You also need eons of time to be able to stare at charts, and this takes you 5 minutes. So in time alone, you win so much more, and it grants a lot more peace of mind, because worst case scenario, you end up buying Ethereum at possibly a little too high price. Well, it's still not a problem, because I'm still expecting Ethereum to be much, much, much more valuable in the future. So at worst, I paid a little too much now for Ethereum, which I'm either going to sell for the same or higher price, or I hold on to it, and it makes me more money in the future. So in my mind, this is a no-brainer to do this, at the very least with spare cash, or you could just devote your entire strategy to this. And so far, I've spoken a few people have started doing this as well, and so far they've all been very happy doing this. So I think it's a little edge in the market, where edges in markets are very rare. I think this is one of the more popular ones, and I do not see a lot of exchanges offering this, at least not in this form. There are exchanges which offer more advanced option trading, but I don't know. They're also riskier. So I think this is very low key, very beginner friendly, and very easy to do. I will remind you, if you do want to do this, I have links to BitUnix in the description. I have videos on my YouTube channel as well, which is obviously you're on my channel, so you can find it. I think it's the last video I uploaded, and I will be doing a new video soon, dedicated video to this about it as well. Oh, and by the way, if anyone has a question, a token they want me to talk about, feel free to post a comment. I'll try to work it in there. Definitely have some time. And I like talking about other projects which you want to know stuff about as well. Other than that, Bitcoin, as I said, the past few days, I mean, people are panicking. I'm not worried. I mean, considering where we came from, this is nothing. Like, yeah, it's quite a bit of selling pressure, but you can already see we're actually, like, it's one big sell-off, and now you see there's already a lot of bullish volume in at least on the 4-hour chart. I mean, I suppose this is not really a support right now. It's more of an unknown. But even then, like, it's new ground we're breaking. It's gonna find new levels where we have to maneuver, where we have to plan our trades. Personally, I'd say maybe time to buy a little Bitcoin, but considering the rise we recently had, I'm still waiting a little bit, waiting to see what happens, and also because I'm more focused on Ethereum. Like, I think Ethereum is going to be one of the, as always during altcoin seasons, I think Ethereum is going to be one of the big ones to shine through. And I think that's where at least on spot, where more money is going to be made. And I think for future reference, I think it'll be a great idea to hold more Bitcoin. I was talking about this Wednesday. Like, there's basically 3 schools of thought on trading, on investing. Like, you have technical analysis, there's fundamental analysis, and trading the news. Now, you have traders who purely use technical analysis. You have traders who purely do fundamental research. You have traders who purely trade news events. My approach is more or less, I try to combine all 3. I look at basic support and resistance levels. I look at fundamentals. So that's why I'm opposed to most meme coins, because it's in the name itself. It's a meme. It does not have a team, a dedicated team. There's nothing being developed which can bring added value. And technically, there could be good news on meme coins. I think that's why the new hype news, basically pump and dump news, but I try to combine all 3, and I look for valid projects. And obviously Ethereum, I think, is one of the most legit ones, possibly more so than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is basically more of a store of value than Ethereum. But yeah, I mean, when we're seeing, although I think this is very, very euphoric, but when we're seeing investors pour $4 billion into Ethereum or ETFs is Ethereum's next big surge. Is Ethereum becoming the new Google? Jim Cramer wants to own Bitcoin and Ethereum as a U.S. debt hedge, which I think is a very good idea for American people, by the way, because the American debt, it's going to be traumatic. I think it's unsustainable. It really is unsustainable. So I think that's what's pushing Bitcoin and Ethereum right now as well, for companies as well. Like the dollar they hold is devaluating at, well, I will say almost a record pace. Like it lost 14% value as opposed to the euro in less than a month, which is unheard of. It's not something to, I would say something to cheer about, but I think in the long run, it's not something to cheer about, because I live in the EU. So for me, it would be, I invest in dollars a lot. So for me, the dollar has become a lot more cheaper. So I am also buying dollars on the side. But yeah, I don't think that's, I don't think it's sustainable. But for us as crypto investors, it's something which is actually really good, because people who hold a lot of dollars are going to try to change that over to Ethereum and Bitcoin. So Ethereum up 110% in 3 months, which is a very long time since I had to say that. Ethereum bullish price prediction $7,400 by next year, and honestly, I can see this happening. Like in the end of 2026, I say it's possible. 15K, I mean, will take longer, like 4 or 5 years, maybe. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong. And like next year, January, we see Ethereum at this price, but I don't see that happening. It's going to be organic, slow, and yeah, basically we have to weather the storms in between that, because price never shoots straight up. There's always a lot of choppy weather. I think it won't last till next year. Thank you for the question. By the way, JJ. I don't think so. I don't think it will be one continuous bull run. Possibly, like even when we're seeing a little bit of a dip. This is mainly profit taking. And I think, as I said, when Ethereum reaches 4,000, maybe when Bitcoin goes up to 130, we're going to see cooldowns. And I think December traditionally has always been a bad month to trade, because a lot of trading offices close, people go back to their families, a lot of profit taking, people have to buy presents and crap like that around that area. So, and volume dies down, and we need volume. So when volume dies down, money's being pulled out of markets. I think November, December will definitely bring about the end, at least for that period. So this year. And possibly, if we don't get like another war or bombing or any weird real world event, possibly like February, March, like we had this year, like we had the year before that and the year before that. Like crypto is relatively new compared to other markets, so it follows those market cycles very well. I won't say exactly precisely, but it's usually very close. And the best way to predict crypto in longer term is to look at the history. And it becomes this self-fulfilling thing. Like if everyone is expecting Bitcoin to go down, right before that time, everyone will start selling. As opposed to now, everyone's expecting an altcoin season, so a lot of people are buying. So I don't think we'll have, I don't think the bull run will last till next year. What I do expect is, how's the best way to put this? Like if we grab a little pencil here, like upwards to November, we see this. Then around November, December, we see this, maybe a little bit down. And then in the next year, we see the next leg up. So this would be somewhere, well, it's July obviously on the chart, but this would be somewhere around February, March. Whereas this would be November. That's what I'm thinking. And it's not difficult to predict that, because it's been happening for years. It's been happening for the last 5 years. If you look at charts, like, yeah, there's a little break in that, but in general lines, actually I have, oh, that's not what I want to do. There's this guy called Plan B on Twitter. So this is my personal Twitter page, by the way. I have it linked in the description below as well. I'd share stuff from this guy as much as I can, as well as Like this is kind of how it feels. Like last week, 2 weeks ago, we were excited about Bitcoin on 115K, and now we're thinking the crypto winter has begun. So I also reposted that. But if you look at this is Bitcoin price, RSI moving average, stock to flow model. So he basically, this dotted line you see is his prediction model of Bitcoin. And yeah, I think, I'm not exactly sure when he started to post this publicly, but he's been posting this for years. And even though like he's like here, he went off a little bit, but it's in essence it's this form. And these are also like end of year, beginning of the next year. So each basically blue zone was around the end of a year, beginning to a next year. Syrup, you want me to talk about Syrup, the coin, the crypto? It was a gaming token, right? A currency token of a gaming project. Syrup, hype. Right, I'll have a look. But yeah, this is exactly what I think will happen. So his model for 2026, end of 2025, it's basically exactly what I mean. Well, I deleted the lines, but I think leading up to it, we will see a high, but after that, it'll die down up until the next year, where we will have to see that next push up. But yeah, I share stuff like this on my Twitter page. Like if you want, you're free to follow it. I have it linked. If you have any questions on that, feel free to ask as well. Obviously, share some stuff from Connor as well, because I follow him. It's basically, Connor is the guy that got me into crypto actually a few years back. So that's I think that's fun to kind of keep paying it forward. Well, yeah, let's grab so Syrup first. Maple Finance Syrup. So that's not a gaming project. God, the computer is so slow today. I have no clue why. That's not bad, actually. Market cap. I kind of like a market cap like that. Like, usually I look for like the $1 billion market caps, but volume on this seems very, very good. I would be sketchy though, but it seems to have had a nice little pullback. Yeah, I mean, this could be, I don't know, it could be a good entry. I don't know too much about this project in depth. It's definitely still flying under the radar, but I think because it's under that $1 billion market cap. Hey, RM. I think it's, yeah, as I said, because it's that 1 billion, below that $1 billion market cap, and that's usually where I look for my new projects. But right now, I'm not really buying any new projects. I'm more focused on what I have and expanding those assets. But I don't know, it kind of looks very bullish. Like, I don't know what the reason for this price hike is, but if it's good news, like maybe, yeah. Maybe wait out this candle, so like wait out what today does, and then try to catch it on that 52 cent. I think could be a very good entry to possibly follow that second leg up. If like I am expecting a big altcoin season, so then yeah, this definitely could be a good buy. And you need the volume, and I mean, look at that volume. Volume is up almost 300%. I mean, that's crazy. Even on a down day. So yeah, I don't know. That seems very good. I don't know what the Project Merlin launch drop is, but I don't know. Looks good. Maybe it's because it's like doing like an airdrop, and having to hold the Maple Finance token, like the syrup token. Yeah, could be very speculative. Maybe that's the reason why it's dropping. Like they got the launch drop and then now they're all selling it off. So I'd be wary if that's the case though, but I don't know. Looks like a nice entry. Hyperliquid. I've heard more about this for a while. God, it's so slow. I need to get myself, like, you all need to start following me and retweeting. I need to grab some YouTube money. I'm looking to buy a new computer around the end of the year. Bit of a Christmas present to myself. I already have the money though. I don't know. This market cap is already quite high. So $14 billion. Like if you want to become rich off of this token, it's not going to happen. If you want to keep buying this for a very long term, like you want to start DCAing into this and hold it for the next 10 years, that's more along the lines where I would be looking at for this. But I don't know. It could be diluted quite heavily because it has $300 million circulating. So it could triple X this, more than triple X this current supply, which would dilute your tokens by a third to a third. That seems risky. They probably won't do that in a very short term, but I mean, that does dilute your potential gain on this, especially considering the price is already so high. So if this is a new project for you, I wouldn't do this. Right now it's correction, dip or dump. Yeah, I agree. But if you believe in an altcoin season, if you believe in crypto, if you want to buy crypto for a long term, like these dips are golden. Like this is the time you need to be buying, especially if you missed out on buying the last time. I saw a quote about it on Twitter. I'm not exactly sure if I shared it. No, I don't know. I don't think I shared it, but like people didn't want to buy Bitcoin at 120K because it was too expensive and you missed the boat, etc. Now it's back to 115 and now they're all fearful to buy in case the price goes further down. So either way, human emotion makes you miss out. So I think that's something we all need to guard ourselves against. And I'm working on basically automating what I do as a protection for myself, but also to help others basically get that strategy and you take out the human emotion into the dollar cost averaging investing. Like for basically all you need to do is deposit money every month and you automatically buy the tokens you want for the longer term. And it takes out the whole human part of it and it just buys dips. And all you have to do is look in 10 years, basically. That's what I try to accomplish with that. Because even sometimes I make mistakes, or I won't say mistakes, but sometimes you get in your own head and you end up making a decision which is less profitable than if you had just stuck with your plan. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So when I think altcoin season will happen, in the next few months, if not in the next few weeks. Like as I said, I think big Ethereum, this is Ethereum then, but as we're looking right now, Ethereum I think is consolidating on this level. Yes, there was a lot of selling pressure after a lot of buying pressure, which I think is completely normal. A lot of people taking profits, a lot of people trying to catch a good short trade, which is all forcing that price down. But even with that, I mean, look at the volume right here. We're seeing a lot of selling pressure, but it's being eaten up by the buyers. So I think price will start to compress more and more. And like we just started, like this hourly candle, let's grab the hourly candle. Like we saw a big selling pressure, but right now it's very, very compressed. So there's not a lot of sellers, there's not a lot of buyers yet, but we just had a lot of sellers. So what I'm thinking is, people like me, I bought Ethereum this morning. I will answer your question a little bit, but people like me who are seeing the price compress, I bought Ethereum this morning. I think somewhere around here. Yeah, roughly 9 a.m. Yeah, somewhere around here is where I bought Ethereum. I had set a limit order for that, so it did it automatically. But I bought Ethereum at this price level. We're right back at it right now. Not worried at all. I might actually buy a little bit more, depending if it does drop down a little bit further. But I think this is the next sideways for the next few days, and then we see another leg up, is at least what I'm expecting. So, and if that happens, so we're now at the end of July. August has historically always been a very good month. So I think August could be the catalyst for a big altcoin push. And considering that the altcoin season index, let's just refresh it a little bit. Let's see what it does. It's already moving up a little bit again. And it did briefly in the last week surpass into that other area. So we went past 50, which it has not done for almost 2 to 3 years. So I think that's a very good indicator that we are going to have an altcoin season. I think it will be different than the past. Like, I don't think we'll see a lot of altcoins which will do 10x, 20x, 100x. I don't see that happening, because meme coins basically have ruined those profits, because there's so many being released that it has diluted the shares, diluted the amount of money in crypto. So there will be gains, but I think there will be less than in the past. Hey, Valentin. Any altcoins that I'm keeping my eye on? So I might actually have to just post my list, with all the coins I hold. But I had Pudgy Penguins. Don't ask me why. It's a meme coin, but on my main exchange, which I don't have public on here, but on my main exchange, it got listed. I bought a few $100 just for a YOLO bet. It completely tanked in the end. I think at the end it was only 50 or 100 euros at the end. But right now it's doing absolutely terrific again. So it's now a nice little pot. It's worth a few $1,000s. I did buy a little bit more on the very lowest end of the dip, just to double up, to maybe even it out to where I could break even. Completely forgot about it, and now it's doing really, really well. Apparently it's going to do some form of ETF. So yeah, I'm kind of keeping my eye on it to see if I either sell it all, or if maybe I hold it and be part of the next Pepe coin or something like that. But that's one. It has gone up already over 600%. So I don't know. I might not be a good time to buy this right now. But I hold Caspa, Virtual, AVAX. Well, you know what? Let's just go through the list. So I hold, obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Sui. Hey, Hype actually did come up quite a bit. But yeah, Sui. Let's see if I find a few more before I get to the really sad part of my portfolio. Oh yeah, Caspa is a bit in my sweet spot. I bought Caspa and Sui when they were right next to each other, also both on the $2 billion market cap. And I think Sui right now is on 12. So yeah, 12, almost 13. So basically a 6x from where I bought it. Took great profits along the way. Never sold everything. Pudgy Penguins, $2 billion market cap. Who would have thought? I don't know. Virtual, I think, is doing really well. Virtual Protocol, this one. $1 billion market cap. Still plenty of room to grow. Well, it's not exactly 1 billion, but you know what I mean. Cake. I've not held Cake in quite a while, but I still really like that I'm kind of waiting for them to bring out like the next golden goose of crypto. I'm always keeping my eye on this project. Made me a lot of money in the past. I'm not really sure on which other ones right now. Like, I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I hold those. I still have Mr. Miggles, also one of the two meme projects basically which I hold. And the reason I hold this one is because it has official ties with Coinbase. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, as I said, I hold a few meme coins, a few local cap altcoins, but not really. Some are just bets. But let's see, like, did really well in the past. I'm hoping this has the similar course like Pudgy Penguins and does a 6x maybe in a while. Not sure on a total YOLO bet on that. No, I'm not logged in right now. But actually, so basically, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sui, Solana, AVAX. I can't for the life of me. Caspa, Virtual, a little bit of Cardano, not a lot. I still have a little bit left of it because it didn't do so well for very long while all my other altcoins were doing very well. So I shifted more money into that, which I usually don't do anymore because in the past I missed out on a lot of profits by constantly shifting. So normally I take some profits, but I leave the bulk in. Thanks, BB. I'm glad to be back on the Fridays. It's been so crazy busy lately that I had to shift to the Thursdays, and I know it feels different on Thursday. I've been hearing a lot of good word on SEI, SEI. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but I should know what it is because it is exactly in my market cap sweet spot. Like between $1 and $2 billion market cap, almost $2 billion market cap. Dipped nicely over the past 7 days, 10% down. Like if you're looking to start a position in a legitimate project, this is something I would look at. I mean, this looks like a very valid. Like it did really well in the past. It's starting to build up. It's dipped back down. It's on a path to support or close to it. Like this is something I would be looking at. But I'll make a list of like my official holdings and I'll share it on my Twitter. You know what? I'll put it on my Twitter. Say has a lot of unlocked tokens. It doesn't have a max supply. So that is something. Yeah, I dislike that as well because if it doesn't have a maximum, it can be diluted. And that's the thing that kills it. Volumes okay, market caps okay. I've heard some positive news on it, but but I suppose that's the risk we take every now and then. Like crypto is gonna be very volatile. You cannot it's physically impossible to hold all of them. Like you have to make choices, but I don't know. I bought Virtual a while back. I actually got some flack for that. Like there was a guy pretty pissed off that it dipped who messaged me, and I'm like, you know, crypto is going to be very volatile. Like if you dedicate yourself to a crypto token, it's not going to be one buy and you're going to become a billionaire. That's not going to happen. If you look at investing into a project, you have to keep buying it. You have to keep investing into it. It's not one single buy that makes it. And I think it's what Connor always says, as well. When there's blood in the streets, that's when you need to be buying. You cannot afford to skip those, because when a project dips that much, you need to average out your investment. If you don't, you're going to be stuck in a drawdown for a very, very long time. Yeah, I like this project, so I hold a little bit of this as well. It's one of my smaller holdings because I have not bought it as diligently as Ethereum. I buy Ethereum in much bigger amounts as well. But still, overall, I think it's a very interesting project. It seemed to basically hit my $1 billion mark, which makes it sustainable in my eyes. So I used to do low leverage, but I don't know, like we recently, before this last push up, I used low leverage, and I actually made quite a bit of money. But sometimes when it does go into a drawdown, and it creates, it shifts your whole strategy. Like, I had a strategy to buy a bunch of altcoins, and I couldn't do that because I needed the cash to keep open the low leverage trades. So at that time, I didn't have enough money to do both, which, well, irritated me, because I had to keep the money on the side. And eventually I did break even, at least, or I sold, I think one big trade, I had a small loss on it. All the others were either break even or a tiny profit. But yeah, I think it requires too much of my time. And I want to be able to just pull, when I see something interesting, I want to be able to shift my money very quickly. And I don't want to be forced to keep a trade open. I don't want to keep open anymore. Granted, I did use a little bit higher than low leverage. It was on like I was 6x, and I should have stuck it to 3x. But yeah, sometimes I get a little bit over courageous, I suppose. So I don't really do the low leverage longs anymore, but that's also because I just shifted my strategy. I might do it. If we do see an altcoin season, I do have a lot of time off in the next 3 weeks. So maybe because I have the time to just keep the charts open, I'll open it. I could do that, but I don't know. Sometimes it's a spur of the moment thing. But what I do is every month I diligently deposit more money, or try to take some profits along the way in the month. And at the end of the month, I try to buy my regular holdings, all of them, or at least the ones that dipped. But most of the times a dip occurs across the market, if that makes sense to you. But I'm not very big on leverage trading right now. But if you joined the stream a little later, I explained why, because I want to keep cash on the side to do this as well. If you know what this is, the dual investment, basically crypto options trading, on my spare cash on this platform, on BitUnix, one of my favorite platforms. If you do want to use low leverage longs, I would use BitUnix. Their costs are slightly higher, but if you use limit orders to enter, you should always use limit orders to enter, because the entry fees are always set. And in a market order, you get screwed on those fees. So use limit orders, firstly. But it also has isolated margin. So you get to protect the rest of your margin account, and you do not blow your entire account, which I think is crucial for leverage trading. But they also have this. So I put in my spare cash, or at least part of my spare cash. So in this essence, it's been around $2,000 for the last few weeks. And what I did with it is staked it to either a buy low or a sell high on Ethereum. So let's say I have Ethereum, I want to sell it. Right now I don't have a lot of Ethereum on this, but about $1,000 on Ethereum. And you get that ROI across 14 hours. And I can show it better on a USDT, but if you do this, I don't know, you put in 1,000 USDT, you get almost 0.5% ROI over 14 hours, which is a very good amount. Like if you try to day trade or swing trade, a lot of day traders will tell you you're looking at trying to trade 1% a day, and this is net you 0.5% a day, which is already very good. Like if you calculate, if you keep stacking that 0.5% every day, you keep increasing your initial amount, you can make so much more money than just actively day trading. Because with day trading you're going to lose, and with this you don't lose, and you don't lose your account. There is no risk of wiping your account on this, which a lot of people underestimate. And everyone's thinking to themselves like, it's not going to happen to me because I use a stop loss. Trust me, you will mess up and you will lose your account. You're going to set your stop loss wider. You're going to add a little bit more money. You're going to add a little bit more because you're positive the price is going to reverse, and eventually it's going to go completely against you. And even in the Discord, there's people 2 weeks ago were talking about losing $6,000, losing $14,000, losing everything, and having to go back to work and basically trying to recreate a new portfolio to trade with. And they're still trying to trade. They're not trying to invest. And I could have had so much more money today if I did this, if I learned to invest the right way, other than trying to learn the day trade. Because honestly, day trading, I think, is not for everyone. And I think if you invest in a tactical and structural approach, you're going to outperform any day trader. But things like this give an edge on that. So I've been rambling already for almost 50 minutes now. Any last few questions anyone wanted to talk about? I wanted to go across a little bit of Ethereum news because, I mean, it's been a long while that everyone has been so positive on Ethereum. And as I've said before, like if we're seeing governments, we're seeing BlackRock, we're seeing hedge funds, we're seeing ETFs, every big company, it's not loading, but every big company is trying to buy Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, and Sui, amongst others. Like, honestly, the time to hold those tokens or those crypto coins is now. Like, if any time it would be the time to buy it, it would be now. If I scroll back down, it's going to be a big ways down. Like companies building on Ethereum, Robinhood, JP Morgan, blah, 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 MasterCard, they're all trying to implement Ethereum. I mean, well, I don't suppose my opinion on the whole Trump-Powell interest thing is, I don't think it's a popular opinion, but I think Powell is right. I think the amount of uncertainty and havoc Trump is causing within the financial market systems, and like if he cuts rates now, it's going to become exponentially worse. I mean, for us outside of America, EU investors, people with euros as opposed to dollars, like right now, that would be very good. If they cut rates, crypto shoots up, we're all going to be happy and euphoric, but it's going to cause, I think, a free fall of the American economy. Like, and he's going to need to be able to rate cut later on when things get really bad, because the full effect of Trump's tariffs have not reached yet. Like, it's not at its worst point yet, and it's gonna happen, but it's not gonna. It's going to take time. I mean, I don't think he'll resign either. I think maybe he could, but depending on the person they appoint next, like it's not a solo decision he makes. It's not a decision he makes to spite Trump, even though they're trying to convince the whole MAGA people that is the truth. But I think he's a lot smarter than people are giving him credit for, and he's done his job. He was appointed by Trump, so I think he's in the right. Maybe he will rate cut, but I think it'll be later on. Like, maybe, honestly, I'm not exactly sure. If he does, I think it's good for crypto, bad for America. If he doesn't, bad for crypto, good for America. But if he is gone and things do get replaced, I think in the short term, it could fuel the altcoin season into infinity. And yeah, like I said, for us, that's good. Like people that are in crypto are going to benefit from that, definitely. But yeah, these tokens I all hold except for LTC, DOT, and Link. So no Litecoin, no Polkadot, no Link. I hold AVAX, SUI, Cardano, Solana, XRP. Well, actually, XRP I also don't hold anymore. So I hold Ethereum and Bitcoin. But I sold out my XRP for SUI at the time. So I am not sad that I did that. A little bit sad I missed out on the added profit of XRP. But I think SUI has a golden future as well. Although this guy didn't agree with me at the time. I think Dogecoin, because the guy is commenting Dogecoin. I think Dogecoin is going to be a bit on the bench. But I think that's mainly because of Elon Musk and the whole Trump-Elon Musk debate. The argument that they're having. So yeah. Once again, if you want to follow the crap I share, almost 100 followers. Like you could be follower number 100. You could be that person. But yeah, I share news I find. I try to share something every day. Like BlackRock bought another bunch of Ethereum. Nvidia CEO, they're big on AI, and crypto has a lot of AI projects and all being built on Ethereum. Like if Nvidia CEO Huang, Ethereum is going to be quite valuable. And I think these are comments that the small investors like us, these are things we need to keep our attention on. And I think this is much more valuable than whatever the rate cuts do next week. Because I'm trying to look like 10 years into the future. That's the crypto I'm trying to hold. Like in 10 years, Bitcoin probably is going to be $1 million. Ethereum is probably going to be 100K. I don't know. Possibly Solana, SUI, XRP. Every crypto that will still exist will have 2 zeros added onto it. Maybe 3. So that's the crypto I'm trying to hold. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I also think day trading and constantly swapping the tokens you hold is going to make you miss out on those special once in a lifetime pumps. And that's happened to me in the past. So I know a little bit about that, about what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think I'm going to close out on that actually. I want to thank you all for watching again. If you can, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow my Twitter page if you want to be kept in the loop in the meantime. I do intend to make a lot more videos, which I always intend to do, but sometimes I get a little sidetracked. But this time it was for vacation, so I think we all can agree sometimes life gets in the way. And other than that, if you feel like you want to ask me something or you want to look at something, you can always contact me in the Discord or on YouTube. Just leave a comment. And 9 times out of 10, I'll try to respond swiftly. So have a great weekend, guys. Don't overcomplicate things and try to spend some time outside, I suppose. It's been great weather over here, so I hope you guys have the same thing. Have a good one.